What's the streaming service called?
It is called, another drum roll.
Oh, here we go.
Another drum roll. We took the word OAXIS, which is it took a long time to come up with the name, by the way. I already said the word OAXIS, but this is, think about this. If you were going to come up with something really big that you wanted to like impact people with, how would you name it? So it's basically
chicken noodle soup.
Boom, right there.
Done.
And by the way,
Easy.
No chicken in it.
Yeah,
that's the weirdest part. I don't
Very
even know why
weird.
it's called that. So weird. By the way, chicken noodle soup, better than my name. I'm scratching out the name I thought of. No. So we took the word OAXIS because we thought that was because we're trying to be a place where families can go and not have to worry about what their kids see. Because there's a lot of things out there that kids, let's face it, don't want to be watching, or parents don't want their kids watching. And quite frankly, there's a lot of things out there that parents don't want to watch either.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's easy to find it or have it come to you.
It's very easy to find, especially these days with these phones we have. This little phone device right here.
The light box.
Look at the light, the
mobile light box.
The little handheld light box. Yes, exactly. And by the way, you'll soon be seeing hater potatoes on here. But there's so many things that can influence you and your kids, and the influence comes through this device. And so we want to at least give people an option to know that there is an option of influence where they can look at stuff that we make and know that it's safe for their kids and for themselves. And so it's basically, I guess you'd say the G-rated version of Netflix or the PG version, and it's not to slam anybody else, but I'm just trying to use that as an example so you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
And I greatly admire all those streaming services. They've done some great things. They've really changed culture by just allowing so much programming and on-demand programming to come to whenever you want. It's really changed things. And so what I want to do is have an on-demand service as well that just lets people know when you got to put your kids in front of something. Because parents, it's funny, parents have to put their kids in front of the TV sometimes for hours and not let them. Because they have to go to work or they work at home or whatever. And you need to know that your kids aren't going to see something that you don't want them to see. And so, because I knew this happened when my kids were growing up. This is back when network TV was a little more in our lives. We'd watch, Fox or whatever, or NBC or whatever. And we'd finally find a family-friendly show we could watch. But then the commercials in between the shows were like really scary. And it's like, next on the murder show. And it's like you're watching this nice show with your kids and this murder show comes on. But then the commercial, they show all the horrible parts. And we're just like, okay, we had to keep covering the kids' eyes and hiding their faces and stuff. So I just know that there's a real cry out there. And from what the people I've talked to over the years and the people I've been involved with over the years, people have said, we really want a family-friendly option out there. And yes, there are some out there, but we're going to do ours in an even bigger way. So that's what we're doing. And so we took the word OAXIS. I'm getting back to that
yes,
now.
there we go. Yeah, it's on a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Take the word OAXIS, which is a place of safety and refreshing in like a dry and desolate environment. And then we took the word AXIS, which is a point of uncompromising strength around which everything revolves. And we took OAXIS and AXIS. We combined them together. Our network is called, drumroll, OAXIS. Yes, awesome. Indeed. OAXIS. That's OAXIS. And the reason we're making this announcement today is because we've just launched a Kickstarter to get the first phase of funding. Say that 3 times fast. First phase of funding.
First phase of funding.
Yeah, and say it 5 more times.
Emphasis on the fun.
On the fun. Yeah, we put the fun in funding, people. That's right. No, we are going out to investors, number one. But we met so many lawyers, because when you do something like this, you got to get a corporation set up, which we have the whole OAXIS corporation set up. We have lawyers and everything. We have this whole thing happening. But we were going to do this whole investor package, which we're doing right now, because you have to go out and actually ask people, hey, would you like to fund this? And you need to, and people don't realize this in Hollywood. Everything you see on a screen has been funded by somebody.
Yeah.
Someone's got to pay for it.
Lots of people.
Lots of people got to pay for it because, actors need to get paid, production people need to get paid, caterers need to get paid, lawyers, doctors.
Not me, though.
Not you. I don't pay you.
No,
exactly. You're the only one.
Yep.
And by the way, I don't get paid either. But everyone needs to be compensated, and you have to do this. And no matter how big the movie is or how small it is, someone needs to get paid for their efforts. And we love to pay people because when we, here at the Butch Hartman universe, we pay people, and we pay people on the Nuke Network and all that stuff. So we launched a Kickstarter because all the people we'd go to would say, the legal people, they'd say, we can do all these investor packages for you, which we'll do, but how many followers do you have on social media? They would ask me. And between all my platforms, Twitter, Instagram, the YouTube channel, this channel, the Speech Bubble video channel, and just everything else, I have over 1 million followers all around all my platforms. And so it's like, they said, why don't you just do a Kickstarter
So I want to clarify, is this a streaming service or a television network, or how will this work?
It's interesting, isn't it? Now there's so many different choices. I mean,
Yeah, really.
I think the best thing to do with this right now at this point is make it a streaming service. I think that's where the future is going. Obviously, we know that's where the future is going. There's Hulu, Amazon, Netflix, all these big companies out there funded by millions and millions of dollars. Ours right now is just starting out with, a limited funding because we're just starting out. But that's what the Kickstarter is for. The Kickstarter is to get people interested and to know what we are and to see the idea. And we made this really cool video that you definitely helped out with. You did a great job. Thank you very much. All kidding aside, Jace did a great job.
No, it was easy because of what you said.
Helping
Easy to edit.
because of what I said, because I said it was great. That's why.
No, because of what you say in the video.
Oh, in the video, yeah.
Yes.
No, but and by the way, the Kickstarter has launched on June 18th. And now by the time this podcast comes out, it'll be like June 21st, I think, or June 22nd. So 2018. So when you guys hear this, the podcast will have already been up for a couple of days. But hopefully, if you follow any of my social media at all, you've already seen the Kickstarter, and maybe you've been able to contribute to it. What the cool thing about the Kickstarter is too, I've never done a Kickstarter before. I was a little hesitant to do it because I didn't know how it worked, but it's a pretty awesomely legit service. It's very cool, and what I like about it is when people donate, they get a reward as well. So I think we start as
what are some rewards?
We start as low as $5, and for $5 you get a hearty email. Thank you, a hearty thank you email. That's nice. But we do have some tiers, like $100 you get one of my original pen and ink sketches.
Wow.
For like $250 you get a pen and ink sketch personalized to you. I
Whoa,
think I got to look at these.
very
I
cool.
did something like that for like $5,000, or actually $500 is a I think it's a sketch and a call with me or something. I could be wrong. There are various rewards for $5,000. I think it's a video drawing class with me, like a group,
like one-on-one type thing.
One-on-one.
Wow.
I think it's a group thing. And then they just keep getting cooler as the rewards go higher. So I hope people can at least check it out. And we'd love if you could at least give a little something, or at least share it with people. If you could just share the link. And because right now, by the time this podcast comes out, it'll have been out for like 3 or 4 days. I have no idea where we are because it hasn't started yet. As of the recording of this podcast, we haven't even launched it yet. But when it comes out, we're shooting for $250,000 for our first phase. And we're real excited. And I can't wait for people to see what we're up to.